And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on the mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side. And there was a valley between them. Yo, listen. In ancient times, before guillotines, Israel was at war again with the Philistines. They were on two mountains, and in between was the valley of Elah. And Saul was a timid king, because a real giant who was 6 cubits wanted a man to come down from this unit. He was down there, fists moving, defying the God of Israel. Y'all acting like a sick human. And for 40 days, he was acting hard, while a shepherd boy was in the backyard, fighting lions for sheep and just wrestling bears. He had no idea he was getting prepared. Then his father Jesse sent him up there just to see his brothers and show him some care. So David brought bread and told them to share. Saw Goliath and told Saul, I ain't scared, no. Look, I ain't shook, a slingshot, 5 smooth stones from the brook. Yeah, children of God wasn't made for running, so I won't be afraid, y'all. Why? Cause David wasn't. Yo, listen, he wasn't scared, cause he already fought all the lions and bears, and he prepared cause he knew that his day was coming. So I won't be afraid no more. Why? Cause David wasn't. Nah, he wasn't scared at all. After that, David had to convince King Saul. At first, King Saul thought he was delirious, but then he seen his ruddy face and knew that he was serious. And then he said, okay, here, take my armor, cause if the beast gets a hold of you, it'll help to guard you. Then David tried it on, and pieces didn't fit. He couldn't really move around, and it was too big. So he took it off, and then he went without it. And all of Israel saw David going down the mountain. Then he picked up stones from the brook in the valley, put one in a sling and started swinging it madly. When Goliath saw him, he bust out in a laugh. It made David mad, so he started running fast. Then he slung one of his stones right up into his head, and it sunk into his skin even. And now he's dead. Look, I ain't shook, a slingshot, 5 smooth stones from the brook. Yeah, children of God wasn't made for running, so I won't be afraid, y'all. Why? Cause David wasn't. Yo, listen, he wasn't scared, cause he already fought all the lions and bears, and he prepared cause he knew that his day was coming. So I won't be afraid no more. Why? Cause David wasn't. Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine, and took his sword, and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. Listen, David stood on a giant dead, and then he cut off Goliath's head. Yeah, and when the Philistines seen what happened, their bones shook with terror and they all fled, And back then they wasn't draped with Teflon, so they only got to the gates of Ekron. And after that they destroyed the rest. Israel came up that day cause they spoiled their tents. Yeah, and while the moon pushed the moving sun, he took Goliath's head back to Jerusalem. And while King Saul sat in astonishment, David made a covenant with his son Jonathan. And all this happened cause, yo, he wasn't scared. He had the courage and his heart was found no fear. Children of God wasn't made for running, so I won't be afraid. Why? Cause David wasn't. Yo, he said, I ain't shook, a slingshot, 5 smooth stones from the brook. Yeah, children of God wasn't made for running, so I won't be afraid, y'all. Why? Cause David wasn't. Yo, listen, he wasn't scared, cause he already fought